27-yard line for a first. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this is caught by Evans. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England.
Hey guys, welcome back. Another GOI show. John and Phil here. We should probably think about adding a guest soon, but we'll get to that maybe next week or in a future week. It just kind of sporadically came together today, and we're here. So welcome. Let's see, week 3 now. We're going to dive into some of the divisions. Madden 24 beta is out. John, give us a couple of notes. I didn't get the beta access, I guess, I'm not good enough for EA, and they know I'm going to buy the game anyway. So screw you, Phil. That's what you get. So, John, anything cool in Madden 24 beta? Are you allowed to go into franchise and see?
Yeah. I actually set up a test franchise. So if some guys have it and they want to join, they can kind of get that experience. And I'm just, it starts off right off the bat. You have mini camp. I haven't done anything with it yet because I wanted everybody else, if anybody else wanted to join, to kind of get the full experience as well. But seems to be a lot more controls. You can actually, the commissioners can get together and edit up the edit up the different positions, like how strong you want them to be, and how deep you want the draft to be for quarterbacks or halfbacks or running backs. I don't know if we'll mess with that much, but it's there. We can turn the momentum meter off. It's pretty awesome. Get rid of that stupid thing. And the actual gameplay, I've only played 3 games, but it does seem to be good. It seems like it's like it appears that they've taken away those stupid jump balls and some of the other cheesy stuff that was plaguing Madden 23. So far so good. And keep an eye on your email, because they announced that they were sending it out in waves, that there was so many that they were sending them out in waves. So there's still some beta tickets coming out from what I understand, and it's good until I think the 28th. So it's out for 2 weeks. So you may still get one yet, Phil.
All right. Well, I didn't even get the 50% off coupon either. So I'm definitely hurting. I just checked my email when you said that, and I got nothing. So no surprise there. But if you're on, John, how do they join the league, or do they ask you for an invite? Or
if you go into scrimmage, I posted the it's GOI beta is the name of the league, and the password is Kobe, because nobody can ever forget Kobe.
No, he's a staple in the league. He's one of the originals, and we love having him for sure. John, did you want to talk about anything that happened in the league with a couple of users this week, or just leave that?
Unfortunately, as probably everybody understands now, we had to excuse a couple of GMs that, a lot of us liked, but the key is we want to keep this friendly. It's more important for us to have a place of fellowship, companionship, where we can, talk sports and have fun. When it starts getting personal, when it just starts becoming a little toxic, I've had a couple different, and I know the other commissioners have too. We've had a couple different GMs come and say, over the last year or two, the league's changed. It's not as fun of an environment. I don't feel as comfortable talking in chat, because you never know who might take a shot at you. So we made a couple pledges, a couple pleas, and unfortunately it didn't change the behavior. So we had to change the behavior, because as I told both those GMs, I would rather not have a league than have a league that looks like a mutt chat room. We're just never going to do that. So hopefully this makes things better. No ill will towards anybody that's gone. Best of luck to them, but it just wasn't good chemistry for us. So we had to make a change.
Yeah. And that's the reason you and I started this league, was just some of the toxicity we experienced in other leagues. Shoot, I don't even know how many different leagues I've been a part of, maybe 15, and there's nowhere even close to GOI in my experience is with those leagues, and how this is run, and obviously how the commissioners all want fairness, and we don't take extra treats and goodies and upgrades for our players, and everything else behind the scenes that you don't see. So We're just a regular GM minus a couple extra things that we do for free. So okay, great. And so we were going to dive into some of the divisions, actually all the divisions we're going to go through real quick. And then we're going to play a little game. The division leader now, if we think they're going to keep the division or lose the division at some by the season's end. So you want to start AFC or NFC, John?
Let's do NFC. We always start with the AFC.
All right, NFC North, we'll start with them. Detroit sitting there 2-2, which, speaking of Detroit Lions, I think it was like 2-15 or something last season. So he's back, but he was 15-2 the season before that. So, and it was that big quarterback change. You brought in that fullback to play quarterback, and just didn't go well last year, but it seems to be going good so far. 2-0. Green Bay Packers 1-1. Had a couple close games. He pulled one of them out. Minnesota Vikings at 1-1, and the Bears at 0-2. Anything stand out in the NFC North?
Well, I'm happy to see Kevin back up top. I'm assuming he probably put a lot of research into the stag party for Ray's wedding. So maybe he was just drunk all last season. I'm not sure, but the wedding's over and he's 2-0. So I'm happy to see him back up on top there. Like you said, last 2 seasons ago, he was 15-2. So I think he can hang on to this when it looks like he's kind of got it figured out. He's got some good competitors in there, but in all honesty, John's thing is if he plays teams that get burned by the deep ball, he wins. But when he comes up against teams that know how to play the deep ball, he struggles. So I think he has to add a little bit more to his game to be able to go to the top. Dak's always tough, but I think Kevin's going to hang on. He's off to a good start. So barring anything unusual, I think Detroit will stay at the top.
Okay. Man, Dak is playing really good. Didn't he? He made the NFC Championship last season. I did catch Minnesota's game against the Eagles. Man, Jetta looks good, man. In fact, I told John, I said, I might end up taking the Vikings here next season. Sorry, but that's just because of how the deep ball's been playing. I've been tossing a couple deep balls this year, and it's fun. I like it. Now that I've learned how to throw them. Golly, this is a tough division, though. It can go either way. The Lions are real good. The Packers are real good. The Vikings, the only team I don't see, making much noise is the Bears. So, all right, you're going to go Lions. I'll go Packers. I think the Packers can do it. They got the team. They got the know-how. He did a great job. We've still got Jair Alexander on that team for a shutdown corner. And Kevin still has that 300-pound quarterback. So this is year 2. Usually takes 3 or 4 years till they're super solid, but he's playing well. So I'll go Packers NFC North for now.
Maybe Kevin sent him to fat camp during the offseason.
Yeah. He's getting a little older like me, gaining a little weight, Thought he'd throw one on quarterback. All right, so we'll bounce over to the AFC North now. You got the Ravens 2-0, the Bengals 2-0, the Browns 1-1, and Pittsburgh at 0-2. What do you got?
Well, that's a tough race right there. I mean, I could see Ravens, Bengals, or Browns. So I'm just going to go off of what we see so far. So the Ravens are 2-0. Nobody has more free time than Ryan does to be excellent at Madden. So, and I'm going to say that because Tom's given the appearance of trying to hide from his game against Ryan this weekend. So I'm going to go. That means Tom is concerned about his game. So I'm going to take Baltimore to win that division.
I like that. I respect that. I'm going to go Baltimore as well. Ravens didn't make the playoffs last year, and I think that left a little chip on Ryan's shoulder. So I think he's back. I heard he's got a little bit more free time now as well, so that should help. And Tom seems really busy. They're actually supposed to play week 3, and they're kind of dancing around on the scheduling and figuring it out. I think they finally got somewhat of a time maybe nailed down for either today or tomorrow afternoon. So we'll see if that actually plays out. But yeah, I like those Ravens, man. They won me a Super Bowl this edition. They're strong all across the board, so you can't go wrong there. So I'll go Ravens, take the AFC North this year, this season, and make it back to the playoffs. All right, NFC South, you got Carolina Panthers, of course, at 2-0. The Falcons, hey, I picked you guys last week for my surprise team to make the playoffs this season. They're at 1-1. Wow, Mo's at 0-3, and Emmanuel's at 0-3 for the Saints and the Bucks. What are you thinking in the NFC South?
Next. So sorry, guys, but until Ray gets a loss and gets beaten, and now his wedding's all over. He probably is a little bit more focused too now. So Mo, don't get discouraged. It's still early, so stay positive. But yeah, you got to go with Carolina, I would think here.
Oh yeah, I mean, Ray only got one loss last season. Legitly, he got a fair sim loss in week 18, and then lost the only game of his season playing head to head in the playoffs. So yeah, I mean, obviously it's Ray's division until he says otherwise. I just put the Falcons in as my surprise playoff team last season, but yeah, nobody's making much noise. Until I see it, I'm not going to believe it. So it's
Yeah.
Ray's division until he or his wife says otherwise. AFC South, you got the Titans sitting at 2-0. The Colts are 1-1. The Texans are 1-1. My Jags are 1-1. Man, I can tell you just from personal experience, every one of these users in the AFC South is legit, so you can't sleep on them. John,
See, I was thinking that this division had no talent in it. I mean, no, I'm kidding, right? Definitely a tough division, and it's kind of funny because Tommy through a good part of this edition has been the frustrated, everything's Madden's fault, the game's broken. But now that Tommy's not having to go to school every day and he has some free time, he suddenly is 2-0. So the game is suddenly broken in his favor. So, but good for him. So, because he's been there, he was for many years in the playoffs in the hunt, even with some bad Jets teams. So, but man, this one is literally, I don't think I have a quarter on me, but I mean, I can't rule you out. The other Phil in Houston has been playing really well. Bailey went deep, I think, in the playoffs, right? I think, and he's pretty tough. And Tommy's 2-0. So, man, too close to call. I don't know.
flip the
I guess
coin.
I'm just gonna say right now, I'm gonna say Bailey, because Bailey's in my DMs trying to get me to trade. He's still trying to get his team better, and he's trying to pull one of my high 80 players away from my team. And he thinks I'm an idiot, and he's trying to suck some of my good rookies. To make the rest of you happy, I'm probably not going to do that trade, but that says that Bailey did well last season, but he's not happy. He's still trying to get better. So I'm going to say you guys are going to have to knock Bailey off that division.
Yeah, I mean, Bailey won the AFC South last season, and then we played in the playoffs in the divisional round. It was funny how that worked out. It was two AFC East teams, the Patriots and the Jets had to play, and then on my side, it was I had to play the Colts for the third time that season. So it was kind of funny how that worked out, and then obviously that led into the AFC Championship game, and I folded like a lawn chair. So all that to say, yeah, Tommy's on summer vacation, so he's got some time. He's sitting at 2-0, played 2 good games so far. I play him later on today, so it's going to be a knockdown drag out. He seems to be back fired up. But yeah, to me, it's Bailey's just playing unreal football. Everything I tried to throw at him during the regular season last year was just not working. I think I just got lucky in the playoffs on him and just had an off game, but the Texans got Romeo, their 99 speed wide receiver. He's wild with him. gosh, I'm just hoping to stay afloat and make a playoff spot. If I win this division, great. But I mean, it's going to be a brutal season. I can already see it all over the map. But I mean, I'm not going to count against myself. I can do it. I just got to get motivated to do it. So, yeah, I'm gonna, I think Bailey's a good pick, but I'm gonna stay with the Jags. We're gonna get the job done, no matter what it takes. So, we'll see you later on, Tommy, for our first division game, and best of luck to you. All right, NFC East, you got the Giants at 3-0, Connors at 1-1. You got a new user taking over Washington for Riley. His name is Marco. He's at 0-2, and the Eagles are at 0-2. One of those losses by the Dolphins. What are your thoughts in the NFC East?
Well, I probably put the curse on Connor by picking him to go to the Super Bowl. So that probably just ruins his entire year. And then now he's getting ready to go internationally traveling. So I think it's what, TK and the Giants, right? So, and he had come into the league pretty hot. So I'm going to say right now, the Giants are in the driver's seat. I haven't seen anything out of Washington and Philadelphia that makes me think they're going to take him out. And Connors, I think we talked about it at the beginning of the season. He made some moves, and he at least so far, the moves haven't paid off. So I'm going to stay with the Giants.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stay with the Giants too. He's playing well. I can't remember. I think he might have missed the playoffs last season or got bounced in the wild card round. I'm not sure. So he's probably got a little chip on his shoulder. He's a great player. I've played him twice this edition and given me fits both times. I think he got me the first time, and I, somehow came back from like a 14-point deficit to win in the fourth quarter. But I will tell you what, I did watch the Dallas and Washington game. I was impressed with Marco. He might be, taking over a new team, but he's definitely got some game, man. I was like, holy cow. And I believe Connor said he was maybe missing the playoffs or missing towards the end of the season. So maybe he doesn't have a lot of the motivation and the drive to kind of get the job done. So I'm going to stick with the Giants as well in this division. Moving over to the AFC East, you got the Jets at 2-0, the Patriots at 2-1, the Bills at 1-1, and the Dolphins at 1-1 as well.
Yeah. So season is not lost. We've made it to week 3. So, and fuck the Jets. So sorry, Peter, but we're all sick of you. Go away. No, don't go away, but just stop winning, would you? Ridiculous. So, in New England, that's a new user as well, but he's come out and played pretty well, as well. In fact, I'm trying to remember, who did he play last? Because he was given, was it the Jets?
No, he played the Bucks. I was going to use a clip from them. Oh, actually, no, I did use a clip from the Bucks game. So yeah, the
Gotcha.
Patriots, I mean, he whooped up on Emmanuel. I mean, it was like 40-20 or something. I mean,
Right. And it was the Bills game. It ended up 41-28 and it was a loss, but that game was tight for a good portion of the game. So he played pretty well. And, and Lathan built kind of a different team there. So he probably has to figure out where all the pieces fit and whatnot. So my mission is for somebody to beat Peter. So hopefully me. I'd like to make it happen. We've come close once or twice, but we gotta bring Peter. I mean, right now we can't have Peter on the show again because we can't fit his big inflated head on the screen. I mean, he's the self-proclaimed and rightfully so champion of Madden 23. I can't take that away from him, but dear God, man, he needs to write some parking tickets for a while. He's been on the major crime unit too long. He needs to go back and do some boots on the ground kind of work here. So we're going to beat him, whether it's me, whoever it is, somebody is going to take him out. So, but he's going to win the damn division. Okay. He's going to win it. So.
Yeah. It's just similar to Bray's division. It's Peter's division till somebody says otherwise. I think he's not only going to win the division, I think he's going to probably win, the AFC crown and have the bye and do the whole dance again. And, I think the Super Bowl celebration is just on standby there in New York Jets.
We're gonna have to start using Roman numerals for his trophies because it's just gonna get crazy with just numbers. So it's gonna have to be like X1 or whatever. I don't know. So
Yeah, but the Jets are on my schedule too this year, John. So I'll do my best and see what happens. Usually he gives me a game in the regular season because he feels bad and then kicks my butt in the playoffs. It's the usual script of the thing, but we'll see. I got to get out of the AFC South first and just get a spot this year. So I'll go with the Jets there. Patriots look good. I mean, I misspoke. It was 41-10 that he beat the Bucks by. The Bills, he was close, but that's his first game, and the Bills are a good team, so you're not just gonna waltz into GOI and rack up 16 wins and laugh in our face. That's just not this type of league.
right.
And man, I'd like to see the Dolphins get in there, I think I told you you set your highest win total ever last season. It was 6 wins. So just love to see some noise, especially if that means putting one on the Jets. Man, that's great,
That's like my Super Bowl.
Yeah. Anytime you put one over on Peter, you rack it up, you do tequila shots, smoke the cigar like you're having a first date, or at least I do. I don't know. Maybe that's my problem. I celebrate the regular season win. All right, so NFC West, the last division in the NFC, you got the Seahawks sitting at 2-0. The Cardinals and Jake at 1-1. The Rams, that I call the high school team, at 1-1, who I mistakenly had to play in week 1.
I was gonna say, didn't he give you a run for your money?
Yeah, he scored a few on me, and I'm like, man, this guy's actually putting this high school team look good, it was it was close for 3 quarters, but then a couple of mistakes at the end, and then the 49ers just beat me last week to make up for that. So 49ers at 1-1 and Darnell, and I got to think he's getting some tips because I haven't played him this edition at all, and he was hot on all my routes. So I think Tommy was in his ear a little bit saying, hey,
He
Phil,
played some defense. He did.
Yeah.
17-15 or something.
Yeah, 17-15. And, God, I had 3 opportunities in the red zone that I came away with nothing. Just, hey, hats off to Darnell. Again, I hate playing the kid. He's got some game. He always gives me fits anyway, but just the way his defense was running, I got to think somebody was in his DMs a little bit. So anyway, it is what it is. Long season, got a long way to go, and we'll see what happens. What do you think NFC West?
Well, I mean, every one of the teams that are 1-1, I've watched one of their games where I said, wow, I think they figured it out. And then I watched another game where I was like, wow, I think they're still the same. So I don't know for sure. Like I said, Darnell put on a defensive clinic against you, and that's very hard to do. It's hard to shut you down. And then the Rams have had one really good game and then one game that wasn't so hot. And I think they beat the Cardinals actually. And then the Cardinals had one game that was pretty good, and then they lost to the Rams. So I got to go, until otherwise, it looks like Kobe's figured this out. So Seattle's 2-0 again. They went to the Super Bowl last year. At some point, this poor dude's got to win it all. I mean, I've never seen anybody, well, maybe not, but he wins a lot to not get the big crown. And I think he is kind of the people's choice. As much as we love picking on Kobe, we also just love him. And he would probably be a popular choice for the league to win the championship. So don't know if he's there yet, but I think he's going to win the division.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely Seattle's division until Kobe says otherwise. I mean, he just came off a Super Bowl year. He's already 2-0. He's not having a Super Bowl hangover yet, it appears. I don't even know. He was going to see a softball game for Oklahoma. Did they end up winning? Because he was driving all the way to somewhere to see Oklahoma win the College World Series or something. But I didn't catch the news on that one. But Yeah, it's Kobe's division until he says otherwise. You know, I'd love to trade divisions with the guy and let him swim in the AFC South for a little bit and try treading those waters there, Kobe. Be like your NFC North days when you were the Lions or whoever you were, man. No, you were the Packers, man. God bless, man. That's what this year's been like for me, man. You got Bailey, Super Bowl champ already. You got Tommy, who doesn't go away ever, and then Phil, who's been in the playoffs before too. So, yeah. So Seattle, easy choice there. No big question. AFC West can get a little wild. You got Denver at 1-1. You got the Chargers at 1-1. The Raiders 0-2. The Chiefs 0-2.
Yeah, so, and I'm looking at it and I think I clicked on the wrong ones here. Hang on. So we got Denver. And just trying to take a look because Denver, they've got a win against the Raiders, so that's a division. But they got slapped around by the Colts. So again, not really sure where they're at. Then who else we got in there? Then we get the Chargers. Chargers had a win, another division win over the Chiefs. But in a closer game, but still lost pretty, 2 touchdowns to the Ravens, who's a good club. Raiders are having it rough. They're trying to find their way. They've lost to Denver, and then they got really beat up. Only scored 3 points against the Giants. Chiefs, that was a heartbreaker against Dak, 44-42. That was a 2-point game, high scoring. And then he lost to the Chargers. I don't see anybody here that just stands out as, either really good or, completely lost. So, yikes. I guess I would probably, at least right now, go with Denver, just because he's done it before. I don't think he's done it this season with Denver, this edition. I think it's been a little rough for him, but Denzel can play. He's been a baller before for us. So, he's at the top right now. He's got a couple division wins or at least one. So I'm going to say Denver right now.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I'm gonna go with Denver as well, even though our standings aren't correct. Denver actually lost to the Jets either earlier today or last night. So so Denver's actually at 1-2. So the Chargers are actually leading the division right now at 1-1. But Denzel missed the playoffs last year. The Chiefs won the division last season. So I've already heard some talk about, Kelsey retiring on the Chiefs, and the Chiefs aren't the Chiefs anymore, which is true. Because when I played Jay, dude, that guy looked Kelsey like 90% of the time, and that dude can get open when I was even using the dude. So I don't know, man. That guy could run some crazy routes and get open and catch the ball always, it seems. So I think that's a big reason why the Chiefs are sitting there at 0-2, looking up right now. But yeah, Denzel was in the Super Bowl already this edition. That was the first season. That's where I played in the Super Bowl there. So he's got it, and he missed the playoffs last season. So I got to think there's a little chip on the shoulder. Let's not go out, without a playoff berth again. So I'm going to go Denver. The Chargers are totally capable of doing it, and the Raiders are talking about being 0-3, and they can't do that, which they can't. But it's just such a tough league and division that it's going to be tough. So I'm going to stick with Denver as well, even though they're behind the 8 ball at 1-2 right now. Still got to play a lot of division games coming up, and that's what's going to happen there.
So, Phil, after we got done going through all the divisions, the only difference of opinion we have is who's going to come out of the NFC North, because I picked Detroit, you said Green Bay, and then on the AFC South, I said the Colts, and you said yourself. So I'm going to have to that's why I was writing these down. So we're going to have to see how this thing pans out and check back on it in a few weeks and see how we're doing here. So
yeah, I mean, Matt's totally capable of winning the AFC West. It's just he's he seems more of a lover than a fighter, except when you're signing bad contracts that you shouldn't be doing. But we'll see. I don't know. I mean, he's beaten me before, so I can't talk too much, but he definitely, has the goods to get the job done, as they say. It's just, I don't know. I just am going off of gut feelings, I guess. I don't know. So
Fair
let's write, you wrote it down, you said, right? So we'll clue back into this here, towards the end of this season on the next show and see how many we got right.
That's right.
Guarantee you the Panthers are winning that division though, and the Jets.
Yeah, like when you said
That's
Denzel
right.
lost to the Jets, everybody loses to the Jets, so that doesn't even count as a loss. That's like just a bye week.
Yeah. Chalk it up, unless he goes on vacation again and then gets rusty, and that's how I beat him last season. It was like second game back from vacation or something.
You think like if my weeks that I'm on, do you think he'd catch on if I'm calling an active shooters in San Diego?
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe we need to either have him pick up some extra shifts or make his boss send him on an extended trip or something. Hey, take this cruise ship and play security out there.
I'll have Kobe put in a complaint that he was sexually harassed by Peter. So
Yeah, I could get him a
take
little.
Kobe over there.
Yeah.
No, because then he'd be suspended and probably just get better. So,
Yeah.
all right, good deal. I think that about wraps us up, right?
Yeah, that's it for me, John. I don't have really much else. Just keep on plugging away, guys. We're doing great as far as playing games and the pace. And, obviously Madden 24 beta's out. So enjoy the game, the new game, and for me, because I'm not playing it. And yeah, this is great, guys. So what do you got, John? Oh, you're stopping it?
Yeah, I was going to. So
Where's the button, John?
we didn't have it didn't come